Okay, so like, what is ambition? One thing that or like a little like quote that I came up with is like, the greatest goals need like the greatest ambitions. So for example, let's talk about goal first. Like Vegeta, right, wants to be a Super Saiyan. Naruto wants to be Hokage. Luffy wants to be Pirate King. Zoro, the greatest swordsman. You know, we could go on and on. Mark Evans, the greatest goalkeeper. I don't know, but like, that's the goal, right? That's the end goals. That's the end products. That's what they want to see themselves at the end of the road. However, ambition is kind of like this. Ambition is like the desire, the determination, you know. If they were at their lowest points, would they still continue?
Backpack raps with gats in it. Don't get your cap peeled by the black menace. K-Dot thoroughbred. Move like a militant soldier. On point like a pyramid.
Okay, so a manga that I'm currently reading right now is Vagabond, and you know, aside from what I'm going to talk about, like the art is actually beautiful. Like honestly, is like a master of his work. I haven't read Slam Dunk as well, but I know that like it's the same guy, right? Anyway, I know that yeah, the art is actually beautiful. We don't see much like manga like that anymore. Like it's really like I don't know, the quality's gone, I guess. But anyway, the main character is called Takezo. I know he like changed his name later on, but we call him Takezo. And he has a goal to be like, I think it's like the strongest swordsman, like the strongest warrior, something like that. But he's like constantly battling physically and mentally, actually. Things get in his way, and he's debating whether to continue or not all the time, which is normal. You will never have a straight path. That's one thing that people need to understand. Like, however, Takezo, the main character, does push through this and he still continues. That's strong ambition, because he knows that that goal he wants is like unattainable if he doesn't keep pushing.
This ain't the encore, this ain't the outro. Just got one more thought before I'm out, yo. But I'ma let it out slow. The casserole, slow simmer. Been a cold winter, that I know. No chinchilla, no whistler. Outdoors without outdoors.
Even like villains, right? Villains who shouldn't be praised for the things they do, but it kind of like gives you like a bit of shame. A good example is Frieza, right? He has the goal of ruling the universe. He realizes that in his current state, he can't reach that goal. He either has two choices: stop or then push through. He decides to push through. He understands that in his current state, he has to change. He has to do things that he hasn't normally done. He has to train. Frieza never trained. He was always in his pod, But yeah.
Charizard is unable to battle, which means the victory goes to us. It's decided. We now have ourselves a new champion of the Kanto region, born in Palatown,
So one thing that I didn't talk about that is actually super important is that the goal that you want, it takes time. I said at the start something like, there's probably more to it, but like it just sounds better if I just use these two. Ambition plus patience equals goal, right? It's probably ambition plus something, I don't know, but from my understanding, ambition plus patience equals the goal. It will take time, like a long time. It might not be a long time, it might be a very short time, but in most cases, for something to fulfill, something like really big to fulfill, it really does take time. So you need that patience. So like ambition without patience is basically futile. A really good example is Ash Ketchum, the character. Like we actually don't talk about his age. Like we don't know how old he is. He's 10, he's 30, he's bro. But anyway, time passes. He's probably more than 10. But anyway, it takes him like more than 10 years, at least more than 10 years before like he achieves his goal. So his goal is to be a Pokemon champion, and every single time he fails, but he gets like super close every single time. But strong ambition to become one force him to keep attempting, you know. So I think Ash is a really good example. Now he's gone, which is anyway, now he's gone, which is like super like sad, but like yeah, it will take time. That's one thing people need to understand, that you do need that patience, and that is actually how you get people who are greater than others, although I don't like that term, but like people that do the same thing and they realize that other people have reached the levels that they couldn't. It's just patience, honestly. If you are willing to last longer in like the harder times, you will come out stronger. It's kind of obvious, but again, obvious isn't that obvious anymore. I would say that I have really big goals and I wouldn't ever stop. Like the only time I would stop is if I know for sure that I've reached like my potential, and that's like in everything, you know. So I want to end with a Bible verse that's very reminiscent of what I'm trying to talk about, you know, the understanding of like true ambition, right? I'm currently reading Matthew 14 verse 25 to 31. Let's go. Now in the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went to them walking on the sea, and when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, "It's a ghost," and they cried out for fear. But immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, "Be of good cheer, it is I, do not be afraid." And Peter answered him and said, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water." So he had come, and when Peter had come down out of the boat, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw that the wind was what does that say? But when he saw that the wind was boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried out, saying, "Lord, save me." And immediately Jesus stretched out his hand and caught him and said to him, "O you of little faith, why did you doubt?" So that's so that's pretty much it. But like if we like look at this verse out of context, if we put it into the context of like true ambition, Peter had the goal, right? A big goal of walking on, well, not walking on water, but meeting Jesus. And the ambition or the desire was to walk on water at the time. And as he was doing it, as he was walking on water, it kicked in that, oh my God, I'm actually walking on water. And the wind was blowing. He lost faith at that point and then sank into the water. Obviously Jesus saved him with that, but the point is that even like smaller situations, right? It doesn't matter what situations will come at you. Even smaller situations, you have to stay true to your ambition, you know. Strong ambition creates strong goals. The greatest goals need strong ambitions. So yeah, I just thought I'd add that. It's a little good verse. And yeah, but yeah, we're done.
Pedal to the metal, lost foot, and it was sugar in my gas tank. My cushion was a bosom on bad days. It's not a black woman I can't thank. You called crying when I told you these are